Oh my gosh!
Oh no!
There's a fire!
Fire!
My day in the life really isn't normal for a 17-year-old. But I believe that your dreams cannot be pushed off to a later date. And hard work, real hard work, can't be done only when you feel like it, each and every day.
Boys, I can't be too loud right now. It's like 5 a.m. and I don't want to wake up my family. But welcome to a day in my life as a hybrid athlete, aspiring YouTuber, friend, and student. The morning always starts off the same with this breakfast, oat bran and honey with an electrolyte drink to get me ready for my run.
My mornings are my time to get my head right for the day. And as the sweet oat bran and honey touches my taste buds, I try and focus on my thoughts and shift them to create a more present and focused version of myself, basically to try and help me understand my anxious thoughts, because I do tend to overthink things. Oh my gosh. Not too chilly this morning, but it is a little bit chilly. I'm normally outside on my runs at around 5:15 a.m. Waking up early and going on a run has to be the best start to your day. Normally by the end of this run, I am in the most clear-headed, most determined, most ambitious time of my day, where I feel my best and I'm just ready to perform at the highest level I can perform at throughout the rest of my day. Honestly, I would say about half the days I have to drag my butt outside to start my morning runs. But every morning I end up on the street with my feet pounding the pavement at about 5:20 in the morning. But this practice of running in the morning, I would say, has been the most life-changing practice I have ever done. When I'm on my morning runs, I not only think of my best ideas, process my emotions, but I always end my runs feeling really inspired to tackle my day. Took a little bit longer than normal today. I am back by 6:15 on the average day. That's like, I'm like 5 minutes later or something today. But right now in my day, I'm normally on my game, locked in. Right now, it's a little bit crazy for me because I filmed and I have to stop on my runs and take a lot of random shots and stuff like that. And I struggle with the idea of losing control because I need control in my life when I feel stressed out or anxious, because it kind of eliminates that anxiety when you have like this foundation of something that you can control. And it's a skill that I'm working on, being able to tolerate and to handle that stress. So times right now where I'm out of control, when I'm not in my normal wake up routine because I have to film the whole thing, it's a little difficult for me because I lose control, which elevates the sense of anxiety inside of me. Run went okay though. It was a 5-mile run at a 7:20 interval pace. I finished the total run at like 8 minutes and 30 something seconds per mile. You're gonna see how much food I eat in a day. It's a little bit absurd. So let's get to meal number 2 already, and it's only like 6:30 in the morning. After my run, I normally feel the most calm but sharp I will be throughout my whole day. But I know my run wipes out my system's energy, so I like to replenish it.
Okay, meal number 2 on the day. We have some Greek yogurt with blueberries and peanut butter in here, and an apple to replenish after my run. I am aiming for this sub 130 half marathon goal in April. After your workouts, it is super important to refuel so your body can recover and regrow and adapt to get you closer to your goals, which is a sub 130 half marathon, which I am nowhere near right now. I'm normally eating at around 6:30 is when meal number 2 on the day is. So I'm just gonna dig into this and then go through the rest of my morning routine, which just resets my mind so I can lock in and focus on the rest of my day.
The second half of my morning routine focuses on both hygiene, basically so I don't smell like a rotten taco, and meditation with a little bit of prayer to keep my head in the least anxious, most focused mindset while I head into school. I just made it to school. I have first period senior privilege, so that's really nice. I get to come in at 8 o'clock, not 7:20. School is a place where I have to go, obviously, and I'm not saying it's a bad place because there is a lot of opportunity in school, but I don't know if school is 100% the path for me. I'm definitely going to college, but I really like the idea of doing my own thing and starting my own business and working hard to achieve the goals that I want to achieve. And school is kind of a hindrance to that because it's 6 or 7 hours of my day where I am in a place where I can't do any of the work that I want to do, but I try and see it for what it is. And in school, my main goal is really social connection. I try and be a little social butterfly so I can kind of fulfill my social connection needs, because I need social connection in my life. I'm a very social guy. It boosts my mental health a lot, so I need that to fulfill my goals and to be able to just think clearly throughout my day. School is the hardest part of the day for me me because I am deeply afraid of being judged. I may seem like this bright, funny kid on the outside, but really each and every moment I'm in school, I'm so anxious because I'm afraid of not being accepted for who I am. All right, lunch time, 11:15, about normal time for lunch. Right now we're grubbing up on 2 burgers. Got some rice up in here too. It's a good pre-workout meal because 7th and 8th period I have a lift. Right now it's lunchtime, so it prepares me for my lift. For my goal is to put on a little bit of muscle while I'm running this sub 130 half marathon, but the main goal is the half marathon. Lunch 11:15, time to grub up. Let's get a cheers, boys. After lunch, I only have 1 period until I start to hear some heavy iron calling my name. Okay, so in 7th and 8th period is normally when I lift. The goal is to put on muscle if I can, but as we know, sub 130 half marathon is the main goal. Like, I don't get to lift every single day because sometimes my teachers don't want to. It normally happens 4 to 5 times a week is how much I lift. Hopefully just to put a little bit of muscle on during my sub 130 half marathon prep. Time to hit a quick lift, baby. It's back day. One of my favorite days of all time. Normally during my lifts, I feel the weight of the world fall off my shoulders, mainly from all the anxiety that school gives me. Lifting most days for me doesn't just give me a good time to transition from school mode to home mode, but also inserts this confident feeling into my bones, which reinforces the belief inside me that no matter how big the challenge is, I can overcome it. Lifting is a fundamental part of my day, and without it, it takes way more discipline to complete normal daily tasks rather than actually wanting to do that. Alright, so it's about 2:30 right now. I get home from school at around 2:20, and then I cook up a massive bowl of oats and plow these bad boys down. After the gym, I like to kind of refuel all the energy that I lost with some carbs, and here's just my biggest carb meal of the day because as a person who runs a lot, I need to eat a lot of carbs just to maintain that energy in my system because I'm depleting so much energy during my runs and my lifts. However, when I get home from school, my mind is normally toast. So this time is where I like to kind of reset to level up my mental productivity, we'll say, so I can work harder in my upcoming work sessions and just be the best version of myself possible. When I say reset my mind, I don't only mean relaxing while absolutely demolishing my mouth-watering banana blueberry oats, but also a 15-minute meditation to give me some razor-sharp focus. And I do play with my dog while blasting some music just for an energy boost as I head into my first work session. Okay, so this is work session number 1 right here. I do 2 hour-and-a-half work sessions after school on days where I don't have work. Today is a day where I don't have work. Right now, it is about 3:30, and I like to work from about 3:30 to 5 because an hour and a half is just like the number for me, which works so I can still be efficient in my work, but I don't go overboard with like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour work session because then my mind would be fried. But if I do only like 30, 45 minutes, I still feel like I have a lot left in the tank before I need a break. So like an hour and a half for me is kind of just what works in my work session. And today we are finished editing a short. So let's get to that and hopefully get us closer to these 1,000 subscriber goal that we have so I can inspire as many people as possible. Me and video editing have a love-hate relationship because it's one of those tasks which either really fires you up or sucks the energy straight out of your body. This all depends on the mindset I have, and as long as I genuinely feel like I'm doing good and helping others, it fires me up. But when I get into the mindset of I'm doing it to increase status or look cool, it can become incredibly draining. Just finished about 2 hours of editing. I went over the normal hour and a half that I do because I kind of rearranged my schedule to dinner time, try and fit in dinner with my family the best that I can. So it's about 6:15. I worked for like an extra 45 minutes or something like that. But right now, I'm just gonna eat a bunch of protein, a bunch of veggies, try and match my macros the best I can to wrap up the day so my body can recover to get me closer to this sub 130 half marathon goal and putting on muscle. But right now, it's bonding time. Mom, you don't want to be in the video? The answer to that question was a no. But at dinner, this is the time where I connect and reflect with my family. Yes, the food is important for half marathon prep, and I do try and hit my macros, but the family around the table is really what matters at this time. Dinner does eventually wrap up, and I do head back downstairs for another work session to total 3 hours of editing on the day, until it's finally time for my nighttime routine. Alright, so it's about 7:30 right now, and it may seem a little early to go to sleep, but that is okay. Early bird gets the worm, baby. I'm not actually going to sleep at 7, I go to sleep at like around 8, a little past 8 most nights, and I have 3 steps in my nighttime routine. Step
One is read. I do 15 minutes of reading. The current book of choice right now is How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie. Next up, I journal for about 10 minutes to kind of wrap up my day, figure out what I did, what I can improve upon. And then a little 5-minute prayer. Gotta connect with your boy, God, Jesus. That is my nighttime routine. It calms me down. I can be in bed by 8 o'clock and get a good night's sleep.
My daily routine definitely doesn't make me shake with excitement each day, and I totally have to drag myself out of bed some days to get pushing. But the standards that I hold myself to with family, work, fitness are at the core of why I spend my days the way I spend them. The daily routine is not only about getting from point A to point B, but also trying to enjoy the ride the best you can, because you only get one of them.